As a DJ, you need quick access to all of your music to be able to find that perfect track in the middle of a mix. And that's what Torq's browser is all about. It catalogs all your music and also allows you to search for music on your computer as well as on external drives and iPods. The browser is located here at the bottom of the screen, and it's basically split into two sections. On the left side is the main browser pane, which shows the drives hooked up to the computer. And on the right side is the file list, which actually shows the files contained within any folder that you select. It shows you the artist, the song name, the album, track number, BPM, all that kind of good stuff. Now, when I click on Database right now, there's nothing in the database. I actually have to add things to the database in order for Torq to be able to monitor them. And this is done by adding folders to the database. Inside the music folder here, I've got a couple. Here's one called OMSC Information. If I right-click on this folder, I get some options. The one on the top is Add to Database. I'm going to go ahead and click that. And as we'll see now, when I click on the database heading, it shows the songs that are in that folder. And if I actually click the plus in front of database, we can see that OMSC Information is now a part of the database. I'm going to go down here and add a second folder, in this case, Torq Tracks. Right-click, Add to Database. And now I can see both OMSC Information and Torq Tracks are part of my database. And when I click Database, it now interleaves the contents of both folders together and sorts everything alphabetically by artist. Another option you have available when clicking on a folder, such as maybe your iTunes folder, is Add to Database Recursively. Now what this does is it adds the contents of the current folder that you have selected, and it also adds the contents of any other subfolders within that folder that would contain music. So in the case of the iTunes library, which is usually broken down by artist folders and then album folders, etc., you can just right-click on that and copy everything into the database for instant searching. If you are going to use the iTunes database on your computer, though, there is a quicker way to do it. And that is to come to the behavior preferences here and set this option, Search iTunes Library with Database, to Yes. Now, once we click on Database, it brings up not only the contents of the OMSC Information folder and the Torq Tracks folder, but everything else in my iTunes library as well. As we can see, this is now a very, very long list of stuff. So if I happen to add anything to my iTunes library, next time I launch Torq, I'll find that music standing by ready to play. Now, finding songs amongst all this stuff is really simple. You have two fields at the top, search and ignore. Type in any term that you want to search for in the first field, such as OMSK. This is going to pick up anything that has OMSK in the name anywhere, be it the artist name, the song name, album name, anywhere. So as we can see, not only do we get songs by OMSC Information, but we also get remixes, such as this Calvin Banks remix, Empty Head remixes, and things like that. If I want to take out the remixes, I can type in remix into the ignore field, and now all I get are songs that contain OMSC, but not remix. So in this case, you just get the original tracks written by OMSC Information. You can also limit the search to particular areas by clicking on the various headings in the file list. So if I were to type OMSK again and hold Shift and click Artist, we see Artist turn red, and that means the search is now confined only to that column. So I don't have to worry about any songs that might contain OMSC in it or anything like that. We only get Artist. If you don't want to do any searches, you can still reorder everything in the browser just by clicking on the various headings. So if I click on song, it's now going to reorder everything in there alphabetically by song name. If I click on album, the same thing happens. I get everything alphabetically by album name. Pressing reset puts everything back to normal. I could also click on BPM, and then it sorts all the music by BPMs, and that's super, super handy in the middle of a mix if you just need to find something close to the tempo that you're currently using. And if you want something exact tempo that you're using, you can type that in, 130, and now it brings up songs that are at 130 BPM, and I can drop that into the mix.